Why would you do that to her? Your hands are full. I can't believe we're even talking about this. Did you just not spend time in the hospital? Did you just not sit and cry because life is so hard and life is hard on her? How would this affect your other child? No attention, all the attention on Jesse, no attention on them. Just imagine what kind of life that child will have. Growing up with a child, with a sibling that doesn't talk and can't, you know, communicate with the sibling, and you're not only are your hands full, but you're thinking about having another child, and that child will then have to help raise. You're having more children? You're what? Do you not know what causes these things? Your hands are completely full. What are you thinking? Honestly. And believe it or not, that's advice from people who truly cared about us, cared about the children. It was their honest to goodness opinions. I heard them when I was young, and I was also pretty stubborn. So the advice did go in one ear and out the other, because all I've ever wanted to be was a mom, and I wanted many children. And yes, having the first child have disabilities, have seizures, have just lots of medications and everything going on, and the juggle, yes, it was a lot. And it didn't change my desire. And I am so glad, because the best thing I ever gave to my daughter and then to my youngest two daughters was siblings. Those siblings, they love their sisters. They created a home that was normal, that had laughter, that was busy. We went to ball games, all kinds of ball games. We drug these kids everywhere. Basketball and football and baseball and softball. All of our kids did all the sports. And and then anything else. They created normalcy. And not only that, but the relationship was and is unmatched. Unmatched. If you see the thumbnail picture that's connected with this video, that thumbnail is when we went to have family pictures made. And Delana, the dark hair daughter in the wheelchair, she'll be the furthest to your right. She reached over and pulled Brooke's hair, who was sitting in the chair in the middle. And then I hollered, "Delana Marie, what did you do?" And everybody turned and looked at her, and her big brother pointed her finger, and even Jessica in the wheelchair to the far left, she looked over there. They all knew, everybody knew, Delana is in trouble. And she really wasn't. It was the best picture captured ever, because it showed normalcy. Because yes, I corrected Delana with a smile, because I know all she was doing is trying to get Brooke's attention. And Brooke, well, she doesn't like her hair pulled, so she wasn't thinking it was too funny. But the rest of us, we picked on her. Delana thought it was hilarious. It made great pictures after that. She knew She got attention, and the girl loves attention. That's normalcy. Siblings picking on siblings. Normalcy. You can't. You can't beat it. Um, yes, there were times, there were birthdays, there were holidays. I was in the hospital with our oldest daughter. We rescheduled. We made it work. My kids learned to just take things as they come and roll with it. My kids who are neurotypically normal or just regular kids, they're now adults, they learned such wonderful things from their sisters. Love, beauty, how deep is beauty, how personalities are just different, and they all have different personalities. But they, but the two my two adult children who now live on their own with families, they can come around them. They talk to them. Regular conversations, whether they're picking, whether they're, just talking, whatever. They have normal conversations. My girls need that. But the humans that my two adult children are right now, you just can't beat them. They have compassion. They know not to judge based on how people look, whether or not they can walk, whether or not they can talk. They don't do all that. They accept people for who they are. They don't look they don't look at their skin, they don't look at their hair, they don't look at their feet. They get to know the person. I'm just so proud when we are out in public and they don't hesitate to be friends and friendly to people of all types of abilities. When we go off and we go on vacation or we just go out to eat, I've got built in door holders and wheelchair pushers and all the things. If the girls need to be picked up in their wheelchairs, I've got two grown men who will just pick them up and put them where they need to be. Um, they're just great humans. So yes, my girls needed siblings, and their siblings, they needed my girls, and you just can't beat it. The message to those who want to give advice is be careful. I'm sure your heart's in the right place, but if you just don't really think about the possibilities, then you miss so much. I wouldn't miss anything for the world. If I would have just stopped with one child and my whole life would focus on that one child, yeah, life would still be beautiful with her. We still would have fought just as hard. Um, she would have missed out on so much love, so many opportunities. I just wouldn't want to take that away. And then to think about the siblings not having my girls, what kind of humans would they be? I don't know. I think the benefits are they go both ways. So this mama's opinion is my oldest of six had disabilities. She put us indirectly in contact with the families of our two youngest, who we adopted when they were just little girls. We wouldn't have them if I took all the advice. I don't know where they would be. Like, I don't know what kind of life they would have. And how could I imagine life without my other kids? Like, I can't imagine life. Um, I'm so thankful that I'm hard headed. I am so thankful that I respected the people who gave that opinion and I wasn't disrespectful, but they pretty much knew I didn't listen. And I'm so thankful that I have a husband who loved children and wanted children too. And for those who have their first child with disabilities or their second child and you just don't know if you want to do it again, if you want to have another child, only you know what's good for you and good for your family. I'm telling you what was good for mine. Full house, laughter, normalcy, kids growing up, becoming the best humans, and they're raising their kids. They're raising their kids. They're raising my grandkids. They're raising these girls' niece and nephews perfectly because they're involved in their life and they love them. I just can't. I can't say it any more than what I've said. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in family for everyone. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, will you please click like? You can subscribe if you'd like. Comment below. I'd love to hear your opinions. And we'll see you again soon. Check out my other videos. Thank you.